Peace, peace, Black people. Welcome to Yemima's World. We are our ancestors, the Jelly Mooses Cafe. I am your hostess, Yemima, and as always, it is good to be Black in the land of the living once again. It is a Sunday afternoon. This is not what I had planned to talk about this Sunday, but we're going to get into it and see. Um, like, share, and subscribe. I'm still trying to grow my channel. I appreciate all of you who have subscribed. I would like to invite you, those that have subscribed, to actually listen to the videos. I have 141 subscribers, but when I look at the videos, I see that only a handful of you guys are actually listening to it. If you have feedback, I would love to hear it, to let me know how I can improve the channel, some topics you'd like to hear about, we talk about. So, put it in the comments and let me know so that I can bring what you would like. All right, so I want to get into it today. Are we still resisting? And what I mean by that is the African Americans in the diaspora. Are we still resisting our oppressors like our ancestors used to do? Because on the forced labor camps, they would resist in many, many ways. A lot of times they would break equipment, they would pretend to be sick, they would destroy property. Um, those were some ways that they resisted. But in other ways, they resisted was that they refused to adhere to the religion of their oppressors. They learned how to read was a form of resistance, and wearing African attire and also speaking African languages was also a form of resistance because the oppressor hated the fact that they could not force our ancestors into conforming to everything that they set before them. And a lot of our ancestors, the majority of our ancestors, not a lot, the majority of our ancestors did not conform to our oppressors' ways. It wasn't until probably around the 1950s that we started to really, it was when integration started. It's when we started to conform to our oppressors' ways. But prior to that, we were truly African in the American. Now, I just started to look at myself in the past few years that I have been following my ancestral ways, including um, my recent ancestors, my mother and my father, because there were some things that they did that were truly not the ways of the West, how they took care of their family, how we did church, or how we went to church, or how we incorporated Black Christianity into our home. It was truly an African way, and it was definitely a resistance of the oppressors. The fact that my father was able to, he didn't finish school, he didn't finish high school, and the fact that he was able to purchase a home and land for his family in the 70s is definitely resistance to the Western mindset of what Black people should have. So I look at what my father and my mother working outside of the home, a Black woman, being a supervisor in the 70s was definitely resistance. So we resist still to our oppressors, and we still resist to the African, I'm sorry, to the our Western ways of how our oppressors try to make us conform to how they want us to be. And I realized the one way that I resist at my place of business, my 9 to 5 forced labor camp plantation, corporate plantation job, it is truly more of them than it is of us. And them are definitely 47 supporters. They are Trumpalites and Trumpers and all of that stuff. And so I often go to work with my hair wrapped, like you see on the picture there. I definitely have African accessories. I sometimes speak African words. I sometimes speak Gullah words, Geechee words, Creole words, words that we, or languages that we created here in the diaspora to confuse our enemies. And I notice that when I wear African attire, I get looks from people. I refuse to honor 4th of July. I refuse to honor Thanksgiving. I refuse to honor any of those man made, westernized, uh, oppressive holidays. I often go in on Juneteenth or whatever and, do my thing. So, are you resisting? And if so, drop it in the comments of how you are resisting the Western world and how we are still walking in um, the ways of our ancestors. I again I've traced my roots back to Guinea-Bissau, my father's side, and we are of the Balanta nation. And the word Balanta simply means we resist. And so my ancestors have always resisted. And I've seen my father resist, not knowing that that was in his DNA to do so. That was just his way of life, resisting. So think of some ways that you are resisting the oppressor's ways and what they think we should be and what we actually are in resistance to Western propaganda. All right, so that's it for today. I just want to come on really quick. All right, so look, you know the drill. Love yourself, love each other, give yourself some grace, give each other some grace. We are our ancestors. Honor your ancestors and they will honor you. Until next time, have a great Sunday. Peace, family.